This is the Ames Research Center. Well, not exactly. The real facility is closed to the public, so we're going to the Free Visitors Museum. We're also interviewing Joe Percola, a person who works here. The Ames Research Center was founded on December 20th, 1939. Back then, before there was NASA, or the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, there was the NACA, or National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. The center was named after the chairman of the NACA, Joseph S. Ames. NASA replaced the NACA in 1958. Throughout the years, the center has made many contributions into scientific research, such as
nanotechnology, astrobiology, atmospheric chemistry and physics. We do vertical motion simulators. We work with the FAA on air traffic control management. We develop heat shield material. We work with wind tunnels to test aircraft, to design and test new aircraft. We work with robotics and artificial intelligence, supercomputing. Supercomputing, we have a supercomputer here that has 56,000 processors in it. We use that to model climate and to model new aircraft. We also work with something called information technology, which is moving massive amounts of information from one place to another. I'll go through a few of them. Atmospheric chemistry and physics, that's the one where we're looking at the climate. We're looking at what's going on with the buildup of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. We want to know how is that going to affect human beings in the future. We study astrobiology to find out what causes bones and muscles to deteriorate in space. If we find a solution to that, we've got a solution to people who lose bone on Earth. What we do here, what we develop here are experiments that go up into space. We don't really develop spacecraft. The only thing we do here is develop heat shields for all spacecraft that come back from space. We do make one, there was one spacecraft called L-Cross that was developed here. That was the one that crashed into the moon about a year ago. We were trying to find water, and so that one was developed here at Ames.
There were also many spacecraft that the Ames Research Center managed over the years.
We just launched one yesterday that went into space, is testing some medicines in space. I'll tell you one other spacecraft that we are responsible for is something called Kepler, and that is a spacecraft that was launched a little more than a year ago to look for planets like Earth around other stars. There's one called Sustainability Base. It's a building that will become a model for all future buildings in this country. It's a building that is self-sustaining. It will not be on the electrical grid. This is called SOFIA, Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy. This is an airplane that flies in the stratosphere, which is about 8 to 12 miles above the surface of the Earth. Observatory means that there's a telescope built into the tail end of the plane. And infrared astronomy means that the pictures that this telescope takes are not pictures from the visible spectrum. They're pictures in the infrared part of the spectrum, which is light that we can't see, but that telescope can see. They're used to test aircraft, new experimental aircraft.
Like the aerodynamics.
Right. So you want to see if they'll fly. That's right. So mostly you test airplanes at different speeds. There's one wind tunnel here that blows air at about 230 miles an hour. There are other wind tunnels like the one you're looking at right here that test airplanes at about 500 miles an hour. There are other wind tunnels on this site that can measure whether an airplane can fly at Mach 2, which is 2 times the speed of sound, or Mach 3, or Mach 5. And then there's one wind tunnel on this site that can simulate space, can simulate a spacecraft coming back through the Earth's atmosphere at about Mach 25.
It gets really hot.
Yes, it does. It gets 3,000 to 4,000 degrees.
So like the air circulates around this place at like high speeds, and then there's like a one model of a, like say an aircraft or spacecraft like stationary in the wind. It's like,
that's right.
And they test how like the airflow.
It's held in one spot, and then they blow the air over the model, the airplane model.
Okay.
And they can determine by the way the airplane moves in the wind whether it can fly or not. This is a big wooden structure that is a blade from a wind tunnel. That is the wind tunnel. And see if you can get those two people in your shot right there. These are the fans in the wind tunnel, and these are the blades. So these blades are the same as this fan blade right here. All right, when NASA does research, the research sometimes turns into commercial products. And what you see displayed here are products that have come from NASA research, and those are called spin-offs. So, I mean, you can see some of the things here. This temper foam. This foam was designed for the couch for astronauts when they go up into space. So that became a commercial product that is now used for beds or pillows, things like that. And there are different things on here that you can read what those things are, but there are different things that came out of the space program that turn into commercial products, and those are called spin-offs. At least for the immediate future, this place has got a very sound financial future. We've got our funding for the next year has actually been increased. So we're going to be doing very well for a while. Also, because of the location of this site, here in Silicon Valley, we're located around a lot of very bright people. And this facility takes advantage of our location to work and collaborate with people around here, like Stanford, like Intel, like Google, and many other companies and educational institutions around here to do research and development.
The Ames Research Center, a facility that does scientific research that helps us learn more about the universe and can possibly benefit our society.